Greetings from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of Advertising. And in fact, this video is an advertisement of sorts. It's a review of an insurance company called Amica. Amica. Look them up at amica.com and also go to a website called Fight Bad Faith Insurance, which is kind of a grapevine for insurance companies, ranking the best and the worst in terms of customer experiences. The last time I checked, Amica was tied with Chubb for #1 best. And that's been the case for some time, and that is why a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I switched from my former insurance company, which shall remain unnamed, to Amica for homeowners, umbrella, and auto policies. Never had to make a claim yet. Their rates aren't really much different, if any different, from their competitors, but their rankings are much higher in terms of the grapevine, which is, after all, just about all we have left to judge things like insurance companies. You know, when you're shopping for insurance, there are two factors you got to consider. One is the premium, the cost, and the other is whether or not they're going to come through for you when you need them. Now, I don't know which one is more important to you. It depends, I suppose. It's somewhat relative. But if you can find an insurance company that doesn't cost any more, but has a reputation for coming through when you need them, my advice to you is go for it. That was my advice to myself, and just the other day, I'm glad I did. I hit somebody in a parking lot. Now, I made a resolution to myself a long time ago, never park in a parking lot such that you have to back up in order to get out. I broke that resolution. I also broke somebody's bumper. Ironically, not a scratch on my vehicle, which is lucky. Because it's an old vehicle, I don't have collision or comprehensive coverage on it. But we called the police. We went through all of the proper procedures in order to report an accident. And I called up Amica Insurance. And that was less than a week ago. And here's the letter that I got from the adjuster at Amica Insurance just today. Let's see if I can read this in this dim nerd crib light. Dear Mr. Gibalisco, as part of our efforts to provide quality service, we feel it is important to keep our insureds informed, particularly concerning the outcome of claims made against them. With this in mind, the following has been paid. Claimant Jane Doe, paid $800.20. That was just for a dent and a bumper in a rather old vehicle. But that's what it was. Coverage, property damage, total $800.20. I should hope that she's satisfied. Now, something could happen later on down the road. But I've had a couple of experiences with other insurance companies, one in particular, which again shall go unnamed. And they lowballed someone to the extent that that person threatened to sue me. And I ended up just paying off the difference and buying a different policy that cost so much less that it paid off that difference in a year. Never had to use that one, but that one's pretty bad on Fight Bad Faith Insurance also. So I just said, look, when an insurance company is there for you when you need them, that's what counts. That's what insurance is for. Is that not so? Involvement in any accident can and often does create its share of problems and frustrations. We hope we were able to minimize those problems for you. What problems? I call them up. They fix the problem. Now, this was a very simple fender bender, but I did learn two things from this little lesson. Number one, it does pay to get insurance that has a good reputation on the grapevine. And number two, Never park in a parking lot such that you have to back up in order to get out. Stan Gibilisco signing off from the black holes of Dakota Territory. You know the rest. This is an advertisement and a recommendation so far for Amica Insurance. I hope that this video doesn't put a whammy on it and end up having some sort of huge complication arise out of this little fender bender. But when I lived in Los Angeles, I hit somebody's car and scratched it just a tiny little bit. She doggone near died when she saw that damage. Wonder what's going to happen to her when they tell her she's got terminal cancer. Well, those are just daydreams from a ranting, raving mind that's pretty happy right now with Amica, A-M-I-C-A, insurance companies, www.amica.com. And check out that Fight Bad Faith Insurance site, and if your insurance company is ranked pretty bad, why wait until you find out whether or not the grapevine has any validity? It probably does. Nothing else in this world has much anymore. Until next time, bye-bye and so long.